Hi there, I'm Keith, this is Plugged On, and at the time of recording this video, it's been about 2 weeks since Beauty and the Beast had come out. And that movie is making all the money in the box office. I will not be surprised if it makes $1 billion by the time its theater run is done. But that also brings up an interesting conversation on Disney live-action remakes. So Disney's already announced four regular ones. They're doing a couple other weird ones, but they've announced The Lion King, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, and Mulan. And a couple casting choices have already come out for all those movies. But I decided that I want to... First, I'm going to cast those 4 movies, but then I have 5 other Disney movies that I think that Disney should do, and a couple casting choices for those. So without further ado, I bring to you 9 Disney live-action remakes that I would be most excited for. So number 9, I have The Lion King. So I'm surprised it took them this long to get to The Lion King. So they've already announced that Donald Glover is playing Simba and that James Earl Jones is returning as Mufasa. The only other casting choices that I would honestly make is the only other main casting choice that I would make is I would still keep Jeremy Irons as Scar, just because he's one of those characters that I don't think should change. There's a couple other ones that we'll get to later in this list, and I'm like, yeah, don't change who plays this character. Keep the same person if you can. So that's the main thing. Nala, there's a couple other people that you could throw out for Nala. I mean, the one idea that I had was I had Anna Kendrick, but I like her better in a different role. But there is the rumor floating around that Beyonce could be doing it. So, who knows? I don't know if I can get behind that because, I mean, you look at Rihanna and she just kind of sucks the life out of every movie she's in. So just because she's a good singer doesn't mean she's a good actress. So, I don't know. I'll throw Anna Kendrick in with like an asterisk right there because actually now that I get to the next movie, that's actually a little bit more appropriate. So now at number 8, I have The Little Mermaid. Anna Kendrick should play Ariel. That's probably a little bit better than her to play Nala. Nala can be open. I mean, no offense, Nala's not that big of a character. You can kind of take a little more of a gamble with her. But I think Anna Kendrick could play Ariel and could do it well. And another name to throw out there would be like Sophie Turner, but I don't know if she can sing. Emma Stone would be another good name, but there comes the issue of she's also doing the Mary Poppins. She's doing a Mary Poppins movie with Disney. No. Emma Stone, sorry. Emma Stone's doing the Cruella de Vil origin story. So I don't see that working out then. But for Ursula's another character that I think you can kind of play with a little bit, especially because whether you decide to go full CG with Ursula or not, so you can kind of play with that one a little bit. But Prince Eric, I think, should be Daniel Radcliffe. There was that rumor floating around a couple years ago that he was supposed to be Prince Eric and that Emma Watson was going to be Ariel, and I'm like, oh, that could be cool. But that's been since debunked, and I mean, Emma Watson's playing Belle, and she kind of can't do 2 Disney princesses, so that's kind of out of the picture. Number 8, I have Aladdin. Aladdin can be done a bunch of different ways. It's weird because I'm not 100% sure who should replace the genie. I mean, that's like such an iconic role that I'm not sure if there's really anybody who, you know, could do it. But for a couple of things, I mean, Jasmine could be Frida Pinto from Slumdog Millionaires. You know, I think she'd be a good pick. I mean, it's good to try to cast Arabic actors. I've heard a couple people throw out Zayn Malik as Aladdin. I'm not sure if I can get behind that one. And then Genie's also a hard pick because I'm not going to try to make that one because it's like how do you replace Robin Williams? Like, I mean, Robin Williams was a joy, and so how do you do that? That's number 7. Number 6, I have Mulan. There's a lot of names being thrown out for Mulan. Fan Bingbing from X-Men Days of Future Past has been thrown out there. Katie Leung who plays Cho Chang in the Harry Potter movies, she's been thrown out there. Either of those 2 Chinese actresses would be good choices. I'm going to throw another name in there. She's a Korean actress, but she has sword training, which is Arden Cho. She was on Teen Wolf and she has sword training with that show. So I think that she could do... So she would already have the training. And then in a similar way with both Scar and Mufasa, I don't think you should recast Mushu. I think you should keep Eddie Murphy as Mushu. I think that's the best route. Don't try to change it up. So that's the first four. So now the 5 new movies that I think Disney should announce. So number 5, I have The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This one's an interesting movie because at least it's not the first movie anybody really thinks of when they think of the Disney Renaissance. It's a little dark for a kids movie, yet it's not mature enough for like adults really. So I think doing like a reimagining of this one could boost its credibility. A couple people who could play various roles. I mean, Vanessa Hudgens could do a good Esmeralda. I mean, she can sing and she can dance. So, and she also looks the part. She has like that Romanian flair to her. So that could potentially be good. Frollo, I think Malcolm McDowell could play a good Frollo. I think he could just bring an intensity similar to the original character in the cartoon. And then whereas Quasimodo is a little bit hard because it's like, do you go with somebody who looks like close and like and then you just give them like the hunchback prosthetic and you mess with their appearance, or do you just get a good actor and then you just do a lot of that stuff or possibly even CG? So I decided that I think the best route would be Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield could play a good Quasimodo and just kind of get that whole tortured, pained thing going on, and I think that could work, especially because like there's a lot of heavy stuff in that movie, so I think he could pull it off. Number 4, I have Pocahontas. Pocahontas is probably next to the Hunchback, the least likely of these to be made, simply because I mean, it's just politically what that movie's about. It just might not be the best time for it to come out, but there's a couple people who could be good. I mean, Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars could be a good Pocahontas. Again, this is one of those times where it's like, or any Native American actress. I mean, I'm just not too up and familiar with them, so that could be a good one. John Smith, either of the Hemsworth brothers could be John Smith. I mean, with Chris Hemsworth, his time as Thor is coming to an end, so hopefully, that would open him up. But then Liam also, he hasn't broke out. Liam Hemsworth hasn't broke out at all, so maybe give him the opportunity. But probably Chris would probably be the better route, even though Chris Hemsworth isn't really good in anything besides Thor, but that's neither here nor there. I think either one of those could work very, very well. At number 3, I have Peter Pan. Peter Pan, like, there's like 20 million adaptations of Peter Pan, and even though the Pan movie from 2015 didn't do well, I think, on the flip side, the Disney version of Peter Pan is still a beloved classic. But at the same time, the one from 15 years ago with like Jeremy Sumter and Jason Isaacs and people like that was a good movie. And I really like that movie. So that could be a good one. This one, I don't necessarily have any casting choices. I think the best route to go with this one is to cast a bunch of relatively unknowns for especially the kids' roles. For Captain Hook, I mean, there's a large number of names you could go with for Captain Hook. I think even though I'm going to use him literally in my next spot, Ralph Fiennes could be a good Captain Hook. Yeah, but just anybody like that, there's like a big villainous character. But yeah, maybe the only other name that I would maybe throw out as like a definite for a character would be Anya Taylor-Joy, who's like in Split, and Morgan. She could be Wendy. Maybe if she's not too old by this point. She might be a little old at this point, but that's a thought for that. But yeah, I think casting relative unknowns for Peter Pan would probably be the best route, especially because you have to cast relatively young actors to do everything. Number 2, I have Tarzan. Now, this one's going to be weird because with Tarzan, they just, put out that Tarzan movie last year and it wasn't that good. But I think that Disney's proven they can make a good Tarzan movie, so why not give them another shot at it? Maybe don't, kind of do what they did in that movie, kind of don't spend too long on Tarzan's origins, just because nobody wants to see that. But then maybe get character building and don't make it a musical. You can keep the music kind of like the Phil Collins version, like all the Phil Collins music. Even if you would just want to keep that music, I'd be fine. Just don't make it a musical. As for characters, again, I just referenced him, but I think Ralph Fiennes would be a great Clayton. Just kind of maybe add a different touch to Clayton, make him more of a subtle villain than like this overly overt thing. Because that's one thing about Disney villains and Disney Renaissance, that they're very overt and not subtle at all, and just maybe add a little bit of subtlety to it. For Tarzan, I think Jason Momoa could do good. I mean, he's getting big right now, you know, and he's a big guy. But I think that he can get that off as a wild man, because it's like, you know, you gotta get somebody who looks like they've been in the jungle for a while, and he can pull that off, because, like I said, he's just a big dude. And then for Jane, I had originally Emily Blunt, but she's doing the Mary Poppins movie. So either Jessica Chastain or Evangeline Lilly could be in either of those roles. It could be that role, I think. You know, because there's a lot of animals that talk. So I mean, that's, you know, you can basically get whoever to play any of those characters. But I think Tarzan would be really cool, and I think Tarzan could really work. And then lastly, I have Hercules. Hercules is my favorite. It's probably in my top 3 Disney movies. It was my favorite for a long time, and then I discovered Beauty and the Beast, and I re-fell in love with The Lion King. So Hercules is definitely up there. Again, keep it. This one you can play a little bit, because, you know, the story itself isn't like the myths in the mythology, Greek mythology. So you can maybe add a couple more references from Greek mythology and kind of expand the movie out a little bit, which could be really cool. But keep the Hydra scene. So casting wise, I mean, Aubrey Plaza is like perfect for Meg, and then it's kind of ironic that on the flip side, Chris Pratt could play a very good Hercules. I think he'd be very good for Hercules. And again, those two have worked together before, so that'd be cool. But then keep James Woods as Hades. I know he's getting up there and maybe he wouldn't be, but I mean, if possible, keep him as Hades. He's another character that's like, you don't replace him. Because he's Hades, Mushu, and like Mufasa and Scar are all characters that they would be boring if it wasn't for their voice actors. So keep them. I mean, or you might have to get a new Hades. You know, unless you go the whole CG route for him, which would be weird. But I mean, if you can, keep him. I mean, it would also give a different flair. But so yeah, those are 9 Disney live-action remakes, casting-wise, and then who and how excited I am for them. So let me know what Disney movies you think that Disney should remake, and casting decisions that you would make. Maybe you don't agree with some of mine. That's fine. But so yeah, I'm Keith. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the channel. Check out stuff on the channel. You know, we have all kinds of new shows. We have the PlayStation Report on Fridays, weekly breakdown on Sundays, and then lots of reviews going up the rest of the week. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.